What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well and that you survived blank Gameweek 29. If you watched my free hit video last week, I hope you built something similar to the team because you would have gotten a lot of points. So, I know a lot of people are gonna use their wildcard this week or for Gameweek 30 because we have a 2-week international break right now. I hate international break, it's so boring. At least I'm from Sweden, so now we have Zlatan back in the team, so at least it's gonna be kind of interesting to watch the team again. But no FPL for 2 weeks, which means a lot of people are using the wildcard because they have nothing else to do FPL-wise, which I can understand. I know a lot of people are going to use the wildcard between 30 and 31 because that's kind of when a fixture swing happens. I'm thinking about using mine maybe in Gameweek 34 because City and Tottenham blanks in 33, and I'm going to try to get rid of them progressively until 33 and then maybe use my wildcard then to get some of them back, and also because there's another kind of fixture swing happening then as well. So it's all up to you what you're gonna do. If you're gonna use your wildcard this week, I hope this video helps you because I'm gonna show you the team that I will build. And obviously this is a team, this is your last wildcard of the season. Of course you have to build a team that can last for you the rest of the season. You have your free transfers every week, but still some of these players you will have for the rest of the season. So you have to really think long term when building this. So let's just start. And the first player, or the first players, which are going to be in starting 11 now, is going to be, for me, Mendy, Azpilicueta, Diaz and Cresswell. I think that Chelsea's defense is definitely a defense you wanna target right now because they have some really good fixtures coming up. They are, if not the best, or maybe City is still the best, but they are like one of the best defenses in the league at the moment. They rarely concede, they keep a lot of clean sheets. Mendy, great goalkeeper because he keeps the clean sheet. You know I love Martinez, but I think Martinez's time might be up if you're going to use your wildcard because Aston Villa hasn't kept too many clean sheets recently, and also Aston Villa's fixtures are not great coming up. So if you want to bank on more clean sheets, I think Mendy might be definitely a good option. And Azpilicueta seems to be nailed on in just defense. I think he's a good option if you want to have some nailed on. Just getting the clean sheets. He doesn't score often, so don't count on too many attacking returns. If you want attacking returns, you should probably go for Alonso or maybe even James, but I think both of them are kind of rotation risks. You also have Rudiger, who seems to be nailed on as a starter, but of course the attacking risk is not, attacking returns are not really that high for him either. So these Mendy and Azpilicueta are just like pretty much clean sheets, but they seem to play every game, which is amazing. So then I think I would go for Cresswell because West Ham has some kind of mixed difficult fixtures until like 34, and then they have really good fixtures the rest of the season. But if you're gonna wildcard now, I think you should still go get some West Ham players because I mean you want to keep them for the rest of the season pretty much. And Cresswell is a really good option. Such an attacking player on pretty much all the set pieces in West Ham. He has some really good crossing. He gets some attacking returns pretty much every now and then, and when he does, he usually gets bonus points as well, especially when they keep the clean sheet as well. So I think the Cresswell is a really good option. Then you could argue to not go for the City defender, because City, they have blank in 33, and then they don't have the greatest fixtures, and they might rotation risk because they are still playing Champions League and FA Cup, and they might have already won the league. You know, it's City right now is all up in there. But I think you can still go for a City defender. But if you do, I think you should only go for Diaz because he seems to be nailed on, even if they are still playing Champions League, they're still playing League Cup and everything. I think that he is the one that probably gonna play all the games, and therefore I think he's good. But you could definitely argue for not getting a City defender right now. But still, they are the best defense in the league, or one of the best defenses in the league, so we can still go for them for a clean sheet, of course. Then the midfield. This is kind of interesting because there are so many options you could go for. I think Rafinha is a really good option. They are actually playing Sheffield United. I forgot to change the fixture, but they are playing Sheffield United this week, which is probably the best fixture on paper, except for maybe Newcastle right now. So I definitely think you can keep him for at least 1 week, and then they have a couple of difficult fixtures coming up. But then in the rest, like in the end of the season, they have some really good fixtures. So I think Rafinha you can just keep the rest of the season. He's so cheap, you can just bench him in these difficult games coming up, and he's a really good player as well. So I really like him. And then we have De Bruyne, of course. I think you can keep him now. He blanks in 33. You can potentially just bench him then. I don't think you should triple up on City right now, especially not double up on the midfield and attack because of the rotation risk pretty much. And also they have the they have the blank coming up as well. So I would just go for De Bruyne. He's the best player in City for sure. Fernandes, a must-have. Of course, we don't even talk about him. Like, he's just the best player in FPL for this season, pretty much. And then we have two pretty interesting players here. So I noticed, or not noticed, but I acknowledged the other day that this season is pretty much only about sub 7 million players. Like, there are so many to choose from. I wish we could just have more of them, because, I mean, both Lingard, Jota, we have Barnes when he's fit, we have Rafinha, we have Neto, we have so many sub 7 million players, so which means you have a lot of cash in the bank. I think for Liverpool has some really good fixtures coming up for the rest of the season. They are a bit shaky. Hopefully, if they get back on track, you should definitely jump on and get a lot of Liverpool players, like 3 maybe even. But right now, I think you might be fine with just one attacker, and I think Jota is the one to go because he's the cheaper one, and he looks more clinical than Salah. Salah you can definitely go for, but he's so expensive. So maybe you want to go for Jota and then use Salah's cash somewhere else. Of course, if you go for Jota, you have so much cash to go just having your team, but that's also nice if you want to make future transfers. You don't have to worry about too much about the cost. And I think Lingard as well is a good option. He looks really in good form right now. And as I said, with West Ham, you probably want to have some West Ham players for the rest of the season. So I think Lingard or even Antonio you can go for potentially, but I think Lingard might be a better option because you will see the attackers and they are here. Actually, you have the bench player soon coming up. But I think Kane definitely should go for Tottenham. A little bit up in there as well, but Kane is such a reliable player pretty much. He scores points every other game and he's really good. And they have arguably the best fixture next week against Newcastle. They blank in 33, so you could potentially switch him out in Gameweek 31 or 32 and then get him back later in the season if you want. But I think you should definitely keep him in mind right now. And I think you might not want to go too much in for Tottenham right now. You probably shouldn't triple up at least. You could potentially double up, but I think one player is enough right now, and that's going to be Kane. And then you can probably get more in the future. I do like Arsenal as well. They have some really good fixtures coming up the rest of the season as well. And even though Arsenal, they're playing Liverpool this week, I think after this week they are playing, who is it, Wolves maybe? They have one more kind of like difficult fixture, I think. Or is it Liverpool that plays Wolves? Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I know that Arsenal has some really good fixtures the rest of the season. So I think that they are a good option to at least target 1 or 2 players. And like I said, I've been talking about him on my channel for quite a while, and I really do like him. I think he is the best attacking option in Arsenal. Aubameyang is just shit this season, he's not good at all. We have Odegaard who looks really good, but he doesn't seem to get the points in FPL. And you have Saka who doesn't really get the points either. At least not recently, and like I said, he seems to be on penalties as well right now, especially when Aubameyang is not playing. So he's a really good option, I really like him. And then we have the bench, so I would go for Phillips because he's so cheap and he seems to be starting in Liverpool quite a lot now, both in Champions League and the league. So he's a good option for 4 million. We had Tierney, Arsenal player, another Arsenal player, the best Arsenal defender in FPL terms, I would say, because he's so attacking and he could get an attacking return pretty much every other game it seems like. Obviously it doesn't, but I like him. And then we have Iheanacho. I really like Iheanacho because he's such a good form, probably in best form of all the strikers in Premier League right now, and he's so cheap. They are playing City this game week, so that's why I would bench him, because City are so good defensively, of course. But then, I mean, they have really good fixtures as well. Leicester coming up, so I definitely would target Leicester. Probably start with Iheanacho. Maybe when Barnes and Maddison are back, maybe you can get one of them as well. I probably wouldn't go for Vardy. I really don't like Vardy that much of a player. I don't think that he is that good, and especially for 10 million, I think there's so much better value, especially for Iheanacho. He's just the better player right now. And Forster, probably the best second goalkeeper you can have for 4 million, because he seems to be playing now as well. So this is the team. And for this game week, I would probably captain Kane, just because he has the best fixture. Obviously, there are so many captain options you can go for. You can go for Fernandes, you can go for Rafinha, who's playing Sheffield United, or you can even go for De Bruyne if you want. But I would go for Kane, and I would probably go for Fernandes, vice captain. But yeah, this is team. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any suggestions to improve this team, feel free to leave it down in the comments. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a wildcard team next week for Gameweek 31, which I think more people are gonna be interested in. and it's definitely going to look a little bit different than this one. But if you're going to wildcard this week, I think this team is not bad at all. Thank you for watching.